So, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the guys over at Swords and Boards. I got to play there on Sunday. They had a local there, and I couldn't say enough about them. Very nice group of people, nice guys that love the game just like me. So, if you'd like to, you should go check out their Facebook. I'm going to leave it in the link below, and just go over and say hi. Hey everyone, so today's video is another deck profile. It's probably going to be the last deck profile I do from this new set, at least for a short time here. The reason I'm doing it today is because we're going to have a gameplay video on Thursday, and it's going to be between Aragon Corona and the deck I'm profiling for you today, which is Liam Kyte. So Liam Kyte has got a big boost from this new set, because Liam is one of the champions that pairs very nicely with Reprobloom. So, Liam's fantastic for that reason, being able to pitch a gear from your hand to target Reprobloom, give it 500 to be able to break any tower, and then also create 2 tokens. So, very nice. Kyte is there because some specific green cards that you run. It's pretty much your removal, and also there's a quick play that allows you to target a card and return it to your hand, and it pairs very nicely with a couple cards in light. So, with that being said, let's get into the cards. I do want to give a little quick focus on Liam, because I know it's kind of hard to see whenever it's... There you go, that's his effect. So, let's get into the light cards first. So we actually have a very small monster count for light, but starting us off, we have Corum Squire. It's our probably best 1-drop. Being able to grab a gear with cost 1 or less is very nice, and also the 1000 power to break the wind in the fire tower are nice, and then also being able to use Liam's effect on Corum Squire to have it break any towers for a 1-drop is fantastic. So next up is Yuki. I think Yuki is one of the strongest cards in the format right now. Being able to out Reprobloom without activating its effect is fantastic. It also is extremely aggro, so if your opponent breaks a tower on turn 1 or turn 2, this thing's coming out and bringing its own towers for free. Just a very nice unit for this meta right now. Our other 3-drop is Mel. So whenever you have 3 or more gears in your discard zone, you can draw 2 cards. He's the guy who replenishes your hand. 1500 for a 3-drop isn't fantastic, but his effect warrants to run at least one of him. So I do run one Corum Assassin. I think this card's probably controversial to a couple folks, but the fact that it has quickness is really great, and then being an out to, you know, some big monsters is really nice. I like that it's an out to Great Behemoth. You don't really have a lot of cards that out Great Behemoth. You know, a lot of the lower quick play spells only deal with things with 4 cost or less, or, you know, a certain power. So this is an out to Great Behemoth, which is really nice. And also, you know, it can out maybe Shade if Shade's on the field and you need to get over it because he's a big guardian. Things of that nature. It just comes in the clutch for me. I really enjoy this card. Next is one of the newer cards, White Rose Knight. Whenever it arrives, you can do one of these 3 things, or up to 3 of those things, depending on how many knights you have on the field. So you can search your deck for a gear, you can equip a gear from your discard zone to it, or you can switch a target knight unit to active. So you can attack twice with a unit if you wanted to. So pairs nicely with Yuki if you want to try and clear certain monsters from your opponent's board. This is the guy to do it. And also, you know, equipping gears from your graveyard, maybe the quickness gear to, you know, punch in for game, things of that nature. So, you know, he's pretty versatile unit. We also run Brant. I like running Brant in anything that runs white. He's a great finisher. Not being able to be targeted is really nice. Having quickness is great. And then also getting really beefy to deal with any problematic big guardians is fantastic. And our last light monster is Iskandar. He's just pretty much broken. There's no reason not to run him if you ever run any amount of gears. So yeah, the boss man. So now moving on to the gears, our 1-drops are standard Shardsword. It's the only 1-drop we run. Right now, target attack has just been significantly boosted because of Reprobloom. Being a 1-cost gear to out that is enough value in itself. Next up, we run the 2 Shining Shardagger. This card's really nice. Give any unit quickness, and then plus 500, which I think is just overkill. But this is one of your main combo pieces to have multiple attacks per turn. So key component to the deck. So we do run the 1 Longinus. This card is very hard to read because it was wave 1, but essentially you get plus 1,000 to your unit when it's equipped, and it costs 2. And then you can remove it at any time to deal 1,500 to a target unit. So it's very nice to out, some smaller stuff that's trying to push for game or something like that to clear that. It's removal. So nice card to have. And then we play the 3 Kalibur. This is also a very hard card to read, but it's cost of 2. You equip it to a unit, it gets 1,000, and then you can sacrifice it. And then that unit can't be targeted by spells or abilities. So nice to put on, your Iskandar and things like that. And then also when it's sacrificed, you can draw a card. So it replaces itself. Very nice card, pretty much staple in anything white. So now moving on to the regular spells. So I play 1 Supply Deal. It's nice to, turbo through your deck as fast as you can, but there's a lot of times where you want gears in your hand and you don't want to discard them. You want to be activating Liam's ability on Reprobloom a lot, or just pumping up your own guys to deal some damage. So 1 Supply Deal is enough. So we run 2 Vi's Blessing. I don't run any Corum War Room in here. So Vi's Blessing is your low-cost tutor for your 2-cost gears. This card's really nice. Also, being able to add back 2 gears from your discard zone to your hand is also great, especially if you're pumping out Reprobloom tokens. Your hand's going to dwindle fast, so being a +1 is very nice. We do run the 2 Hikari. Being able to make Guardian units at the end of the game is nice, and they're also Knights, so they play into the new Rose Knight unit that we just showed, the 4-cost unit. So yeah, pretty standard in light decks as well. And then lastly, we're running the 2 Finishing Rays. This card's just really good right now. Being able to clear all tokens from your opponent is really nice. Getting rid of, Juggernauts. All of that value is still there, but it just got better because the format's pretty aggro. So a well-timed Finishing Ray can really set you ahead and change the tempo of the game. So now we're going to move on to our green cards. So we're playing 3 Melody of Ages. This card is super good. It's a 2-cost out to pretty much anything. With the format being pretty aggro, the air tower is going to get hit fairly early, so this is going to be live pretty early. But yeah, like I said, being able to destroy anything for a cost of 2, also being able to destroy augments is nice, and it does come up, as well as making the target lose its ability. So anything that has a ruined ability, it's not going to get it with Melody of Ages, so very nice. We also play 2 Guiding Winds. This card's really good with Reprobloom. That's the first thing, because it targets it, so it'll make the tokens and then return it to your hand and draw a card. So if your opponent's trying to clear Reprobloom quick, which they are going to do, you can chain Guiding Winds. So that's a very nice 1-cost spell to bring back your Reprobloom. It's also very nice with Iskandar. Being able to bring out Iskandar, break 2 towers, and then Guiding Winds it back, and then resummon it. Because it'll probably have a low cost due to all the gears in your graveyard. That's a nice little combo piece as well. So we do run the 1 Vabriel's Final Gift. It is nice to be able to search anything out of your deck. You don't want a whole lot of these in your hand, though. You don't want them to clog. But being able to, tutor out Iskandar or anything like that on command is very nice, and I do like the 1 of. And then our last two cards are actually Nanatsu. They're another removal for you. This card is just super good right now. Also being able to bring back the 2 shards to active at the end of the turn is really nice to use with like Hikari or something like that. You know, at the end of your opponent's turn to make tokens. So destroying a monster on your opponent's field and then being able to Hikari at the end of the turn, it's just so much value. So Nanatsu is one of the better cards in the format, being able to destroy anything, top notch. And then last but not least are our colorless cards. So as you would predict, we're running the 3-Bone Scavenger, which, as I've said before, is the best 1-drop that we have right now in the game, I think. A direct counter to Aragon, and then also being able to, you know, stifle plays with Dark. If they're trying to, you know, target something with Yami or Obsidian Gargoyles trying to come back. Things like that. Bone Scavengers are just too good not to play right now. And then the last piece is obviously Reprobloom. You know, he pairs so nicely with Liam. There's absolutely no reason to run him, not to run him in this deck. He's one of the main reasons why Liam is viable. So you got to run him. So last but not least are our shards. We just run the 6 standard shards, the 1 Corona. We don't have a whole lot of removal in this deck, and we don't really use Kyte that often, so having a instant out to any problem cards is really nice. And then, of course, we do run the 3 Zephyr Crystal. If you're running Kyte, there's 0 reason not to play this card. So those are our shards. And then for the towers, I just run the standard 5 towers. But I did get the last 2 towers I needed for the full art tower set. So I just wanted to show these off because they are so cool looking. I mean, they're so nice. So yeah, we do run the standard towers. There's no reason not to run these. I don't think the other ones are that great. The Darkness Tower, I guess the new one is okay just because of the 2000 power, but other than that, this is what you should be running. I think these towers are just better. But anyway, that's the video, guys. I hope you like it. Like, comment, subscribe. Zeppelin out.